And when we talked to Dawn pregame today, she said even more important than trying to chase Coach Summit's numbers are to coach and live life with her attributes. And she has certainly done that. Coach Yo on the other side with the Rebels in her 8th season, with a couple of trips to the Sweet 16 in the last 3 years. And Joyce Edwards hits mid-range to get things going. The starting five for Ole Miss features McMahon. Got good size with Lattimore and Iwala on the inside. And Caitlin Peterson getting her 10th start of the season here today. Lattimore, nice catch in traffic, gets the lay-in.
Good execution. You have to be able to score in the paint so that you can force South Carolina to take it out of the net and set your defense.
Starting five for the Gamecocks, all of them can score. A cot at 6'6", strong in the interior, and that backcourt as good as it gets with Latson, Johnson, and Johnson.
2 possessions for South Carolina. They go step-up screen, bucket.
Coach Yo, they're trying to bounce back from a tough home loss against LSU. 501 wins at South Carolina. Edwards ices the screen, keeps her on the left side. Good catch for Christine Iwala. She and Lattimore were really good against LSU a few nights ago as they play their 4th game against a ranked opponent in 8 days. So far, they're 1-2. They're caught.
They're nice pick and roll. Step up on the other side of the floor. Tessa Johnson involved in all of that action. There's a turnover.
Latson forces the takeaway. Raven Johnson scoops and misses. And there's Joyce Edwards to clean it up. Iwala. Coach Yo telling us this week they are so much better when they have good ball movement. Lattimore.
Wow, what a play.
Range.
Iwala, what a good decision. You're forcing them to box out. You can shorten the game that way, and then they can't run off misses. If everyone goes to the glass, you're not really giving up anything in transition if you're forcing South Carolina to box you out.
Yeah, if they can push and run it, big trouble. They're averaging nearly 88 points per game as Edwards draws the foul there. Edwards hits on the first. Coming up next, 3 more. And then Iowa State TCU. That's the lineup today on ESPN. TCU starts the day.
Tennessee losing 6 of the last 8. You can't count on that team showing up. You got to count on the one that competes. And her defense is better than you think.
Edwards with the finish.
See right here, another tip deflection, dribbling in traffic where South Carolina collapses to the ball. You can scheme and you can change what you do, but Dawn Staley's team guards the ball extremely well.
And Edwards now has 8 of their 10 points. They only give up 56 points per night and hold opponents to 33% shooting. Shot clock's winding down. Denham DeShields tries to create. And it's South Carolina ball.
As a point guard, when you see all 9, that means you're reading 2nd and 3rd level and not worried about your primary who's defending you. That means your handle's better.
Maddie McDaniel was checked in. Latson returns. Scoops it up and in.
Not a back-to-the-basket post-up team and not a three-point shooting team.
Thursday, they had a great shot at LSU, slipped away from them late as they did not make a basket in the 4th quarter.
I was, shopping the square when we were there on Thursday, hit a couple of shops, Jane's and Blue Delta, and electricity was out for 15 days downtown Oxford. That's tough.
And so fatigue certainly could be an issue today for Ole Miss. Here's Cody McMahon, the All-America candidate, who's missed her first 3 shots so far. Gets a nice assist there to Lattimore.
Oh, I like Coach Yo running something for Cody.
Joyce Edwards, active early. And are they going to get Joyce?
Flat ball screen in the middle of the floor.
McMahon defended by McDaniel. The Shields off the nice hesitation. Cody, sidestep three. Again, short so far on all of her attempts. Lattimore is there on a nice play by Denham to Shields to find it. McKeer is now on the floor. So is Miriam Dowda for South Carolina. A 5-second inbound violation. That fourth quarter, by the way, obviously uncharacteristic for an Ole Miss team. It's the best scoring team that Yo has had in her 8 years.
Yeah, this is her best team. She has played in 2 Sweet 16s, but this is a team that definitely can play to the second weekend.
In Dawn's nearly 2 decades here, Asia Wilson is the only player that has averaged 20 per game, if not even a little bit better than Asia and Aaliyah Boston's sophomore years.
Their face-up games came really later in their careers, even here and into the WNBA. They were back to the basket kind of post players.
And Dawn's got another really good one in the paint.
Create her own separation. She's got the power off the bounce to get to the rim. That's a pretty good number.
What a big Monday doubleheader we've got for you. And then how about that freshman matchup, if it comes to pass? Kingston Flemings and Darren Peterson in the nightcap.
Oh, good job by Lattimore. Get off the contact. Hollow out around the big girl and get a deflection.
Gets them a chance to run with it, and DeShields off the...
Actually, Ole Miss has 4 points now off turnovers to equal what South Carolina has.
Here's Raven Johnson. Limited minutes on Thursday due to illness in their win over Alabama, and there she is in action. Nice spin in the lane.
See, that's her IQ, and that comes from instinct and from film. That's
Didn't
a lot
play
of
a whole lot as a freshman due to injury. And of course, the last 3 years, all she's done is win. SEC championships, a national championship. McDaniel will take it. Scoops it up and in. Iwala trying to bury the defender inside, goes to the left side for 2.
He's a lefty.
And that's a travel. 1.2.
Great job turning defense to offense.
Ole Miss will take that 4-point deficit through the first 10 minutes, turning South Carolina over 6 times. Yeah, she led the way for South Carolina. 16 of their 20 points coming in the paint. And on the other side for Ole Miss, Latasha Lattimore with 8 points. They were able to hang around, Debbie, without McMahon making a shot. She was 0 for 4, but did a lot of the other things to help her teammates out.
Yeah, the rest of the team 7 for 10. You see Cody's numbers so far. She is impacting the game in other ways. Short on that.
She's missed now her last
5 in this game.
Good effort inside from Okot. She's been so good against 7 ranked SEC teams, averaging 25 a game.
Goodness.
How about DeShields on the drive?
Smaller, but using her leverage.
Iwala trying to deny Edwards and was able to bother the shot.
Raven Johnson has done a good job on Cody McMahon.
Lattimore a little strong off the glass. Look at McKeer running the floor. Johnson, short corner, good. Three ball on the way. Tiana Thompson around and out. Iwala with an offensive rebound. She'll get it back and lay it up and in.
Boy, how good is Iwala?
Tessa, 16-footer. Comes right back out to Edwards. Has her shot blocked the second time. Lattimore with a pair of blocks in the first half.
Averages 2 blocks a game.
Well, Lattimore is 3rd in the SEC in that category. The drive. Okot's got it, the 6'6" senior.
Oh, she made 2 in the last game.
She's in the trail for 3. Timeout, Ole Miss.
Dawn Staley shaking her head like, yeah, of course. We asked her specifically about her three-point shooting. She has 5 on the season. Wilson paid homage to the statue this morning out in front. 4-time MVP in the WNBA.
Another world championship. That was at number 3.
One of the best in the world.
Yep. Oh, I mean, thank goodness for her and Stewie at the Olympics last summer.
Well, we'll be counting on him again.
In Los Angeles in 2028.
The degree of difficulty for Cody McMahon has been high. You can credit Raven Johnson and the South Carolina defense for that.
Also had it knocked loose.
She's one of the best three-point shooters in the nation, the best in the SEC.
Tania Latson left alone, and she'll hit for 3.
And she led the nation in scoring last year at under 26 points a game.
Likely first-round draft pick. Got a whistle and a foul. They missed 5 free throws in the final couple minutes when the game was still in doubt. Lattimore will check back on for Ole Miss as Peterson hits on the second. They do have big wins against Oklahoma and Tennessee. The other 2 teams tied with them right now for 5th place in the league. Of course, Charlie Cream's bracketology also has them in the last host position as the overall number 16 seed.
We'll see what happens with Oklahoma, Tennessee today. That could have an impact. And up the line, Raven Johnson
with the steal and wins the race to the rim.
That's that instinct and that film watching that I'm talking about for Raven Johnson.
Tessa comes to help and gets the pick. 3-on-1. Latson, Edwards. Missed the layup. Not Latson. This is the matchup here. Raven on Cody. South Carolina wanted a moving screen, didn't get it, and McMahon now 0 for 7. Dawn told us pregame she likes that matchup with Raven defending. Turnabees, offensive board and stick back. Timeout, Ole Miss.
I bet her mother taught her that move. Isabel Fijakowski.
Ole Miss just 2 baskets this quarter and 3 turnovers.
Both those teams have had tremendous years in the Big Ten, along with UCLA, who still remains undefeated.
Yeah, UCLA, a 20-game winning streak. They already have earned a share of the Big Ten title. They beat Wisconsin later tonight. They will take it outright. Ole Miss, Florida, and Missouri at South Carolina coming your way. If the Gamecocks win here this afternoon, they would have a chance to win the SEC outright on Thursday.
I mean, Thompson came into the game making 4 of her last 7. She's got to make 3s for them.
Edwards in the trail, Money continuing their quest to be a top 4 seed in the SEC and also to be a host for the NCAA tournament.
Well,
big block down low by a cop.
Beth, when nearly 70% of your conference is getting into the NCAA tournament, you're going to play a schedule that's going to be hard every night. This is a great play right here inside by Okot, who does a fantastic job defending the rim. See, South Carolina just sags in the paint. Watch how many feet they have in the paint when the ball's on the perimeter. They deny one pass away, but everybody else is in the paint because you have to be able to spread out their defense, create driving lanes, and get the ball moving.
Ole Miss, unfortunately, unable to do that here in the second quarter. They're 2 for 11 with 4 turnovers here in 8 minutes.
There's not many that's been able to do it.
Okot, can she do it again? Yes, she can. That's her second of the day. And the home folks love it.
When you have that kind of perimeter face-up skill, if you can consistently develop that, wow, that is tough to defend.
Off the dribble, Iwala using Cody as a decoy.
They go zone.
Okot, nice spin with the left hand and another missed layup. Gives Ole Miss a chance to beat the buzzer. DeShields doesn't get it off in time.
3 seconds, 3 dribbles. She needed to launch.
The star stories, well, Edwards with a dozen.
Well, we asked Dawn Staley if she had a pick and pop package for her, and she said, not yet, but I don't think she really needs one.
She's picking and popping. 41-25, South Carolina. They've won 20 in a row over Ole Miss, dating back to the 2010 SEC tournament. And trying to continue that stretch. They've won 54 straight SEC home games. And Tessa Johnson doing her part to stretch that to 55.
That is her first basket. One of the best plus minuses, which means her impact is not just shooting the basketball. She was plus 18 along with Joyce Edwards.
Edwards able to track that down and draw a foul.
That's what she talks about, is winning.
She has a few things that she likes them to work on to get better. The one thing she told us, I don't have to worry. They rise to the occasion on game day. They compete.
Well, I love that she has, in some ways, just got to get a little bit better every day. They seem to be doing that. I think it's because of their guard play. There's another steal.
Really strong guard play. Latson will keep and get the layup. Kanaya now with 9.
Let's see if they can get something for Cody McMahon going here. She's trying to take Raven below the level of the screen, and Raven won't let her. That's how good her defense is.
And their first triple.
That play defensively that Raven just made is not something you see on the stat sheet. And this play right here, you could see on the stat sheet if she made it. That's a coach's assist. Sometimes that matters more.
Spoken like a shooting guard, not a point guard. We want the numbers. Well, nobody recognizes the point guards better than Dawn does. Iwala had the shot tipped and blocked.
20-point lead now.
Edwards going to work in the lane.
In this league, usually say you don't want to be on the side of the 1. Well, do you really want to be on the side of the 2 or the 3 or the 4? I mean, because LSU right now is the 4th.
Oh, you're talking about the SEC tournament.
Yes.
It's going to be crazy good as Turnaby scores. UConn likely would have the undefeated season, and the eye test would be in their favor. UCLA, the #1 strength of schedule, the most quad 1 wins.
And don't forget there's units on the line. Nobody wants to talk about the units. The money per win in the NCAA tournament that's now available to the women's teams.
Two-handed block for Turnaby's.
Drop coverage, and when you're 6'7", you can play drop coverage. That means you're not up on the level of the screen. You're sinking in the paint trying to make plays like that.
Yeah, you can still defend on the ball even with that kind of wingspan. McMahon off the bounce. The drop off. A couple of tall trees are there. And Tessa secures the rebound to Raven. Transition 3-0. Turnaby's the one-handed rebound, in and out. A caught. They're going 6'6" and 6'7" along that front line right now.
And Cody is taking on the role as a point guard this year, so they're trying to get on the same page.
Coming up next, we got more women's hoops for you. All part of our triple header today on ESPN, with a double header on ESPN2 that will start at the top of the hour.
There's 12 different criteria with no weights on any criteria. So the observable component is the one.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, I know you like that. Because that's because we watch test. Just because we watch a lot of basketball.
Latson from Tessa for the lay-in. That's a reach-in foul on Turnaby's. We shut it down and get ready for championship week on the women's side. A win today for Carolina, and they have at least a share. They can win it outright back here in Columbia on Thursday night. Took off in the second quarter and have not taken their foot off the gas here in the third.
See, you would boomerang that right back to Latson and let her go one-on-one in Awala. Instead, you let Ole Miss get back matched up. And it doesn't matter because it's an open 15-footer.
Edwards with 18 points in 21 minutes.
And Tessa Johnson with 3 points, 1 basket, and the best plus-minus on the team at plus 30 right now.
Banking it in. Desiree Kyles, the 6'5" sophomore.
She's made the most threes for Ole Miss. Here comes a run-out opportunity.
McMahon, who's missed her last 16 shots over the last 4 quarters.
Latson on McMahon now.
Dowda held her ground. And the run out. McKeer. Three ball on the way, and that one too off target. McKeer with the rebound, head up for Edwards. Joyce wraps it, Dowda fouled. Hey, coming up this afternoon over on ABC and on the ESPN app. Nuggets and Warriors will tip things off. Poe on the drive, rolls it up and in.
Managed her emotions and has played with a lot of composure here. She's not having her best shooting night, but she has not taken a play off. Really impressed with her attitude in that regard.
She's got 5 assists today. She's only taken 1 shot here in this third quarter. Edwards, the assist to McKeer.
You can play zone against South Carolina, and they just play over the top of it.
Thompson and McKeer stay at this end.
Watch the ball moving against a 2-3 zone. Good cutting through the paint. Shallow cut to the opposite side of the floor. You take the ball to both sides, deep corners, and then you just throw it over the top for a layup.
That whole sequence without a dribble. Latson coast to coast. They continue to strip and run with it. 26 fast break points.
And I think Coach Yo's keeping it in perspective as well, right? I mean, I'm not saying she's moved on to the next game yet, but they got to win the next 2. So you got to keep your team in the right mindset.
McMahon. She's not really even looking to shoot it at this point. Turnover. Young, short. Big push for the Gamecocks. Number 3 in the country. Looking to hold on to first place.
Forced her into some tough 2s. She was short on some 3s. But she has
played all 30 minutes, by the way.
And she has continued to work on other parts of her game. Maybe Coach Yo told her to, make plays for others right now and work on some of your point guard skills against some really good defense.
Yeah, she didn't even look at the basket in that third quarter. Raven Johnson will open up defending on her once again, and it's another South Carolina steal, their 11th today. Johnson, the nice pocket pass to Okot. She's got 14 to go along with 6 boards. And now she's above her average. Thompson hoists up the 3.
I was here when there was 1 concession stand, no lines at the restroom, and there was no traffic outside the building before or after the game. And you know what? The score is what it is, and no one has left. So you guarantee there's going to be traffic on the way out of here.
You got traffic, you got tailgates, you got an energized fan base that has only witnessed 2 home losses in the last 7 years in Asia.
That's just going to open up the paint, create driving lanes, double gaps, triple gaps, all the things coaches like to talk about in getting the ball to the middle of the floor. And dominant post play has been the theme for Dawn Staley in her 3 national championships.
Yes, it has been the case. On her way to a 5th consecutive double-double. Edwards with an and one. By the way, our crack research staff pointing out that Akot is now the tallest SEC player this century to go 3 for 3 from downtown in a game. Iwala. Here's McDowell. Over the top to Edwards. Wraps it to Akot. Iwala bothered the first one and the second one. Out to Latson. Got to beat the shot clock buzzer. And they don't get it off in time.
And the starters have scored 25 points and had 15 offensive rebounds. You got to rebound with South Carolina. I think they did a pretty good job on the offensive glass. Part is because they missed a lot of shots.
Don't forget tomorrow night, Big Monday on ESPN and on the app. Action starts at 7 o'clock.
Best player and freshman still not available. He's been out with an injury. And Louisville is really good. They move the ball. You want to see a clinic on how to move the basketball? Louisville will show you how to switch sides and get uncontested shots.
Iwala still working hard. Offensive rebound up and in.
So this is Coach Yo's best team, even though it wasn't their best performance today. They'll be able to make some noise in the SEC tournament. This is her best offensive team. And Cody McMahon has a lot to do with that. And Cody did not have a good afternoon, but Cody will be back. And part of it is because she's pretty much running the point guard.
Well, it's good on the South Carolina resume. They held her 0 for 9. Did not have a basket today. They're going to go 1 and 3 in those games. And the gas tanks have been empty here in these 2 fourth quarters on Thursday and again today.
So Thompson's the one. You have to know where she is if you're going to play zone. So that'll be a focus thing that Coach Staley will talk about, I'm sure, tomorrow.
That's rattled in. Isla McDowell for 3.
These freshmen are really talented.
10 have played today, 10 have scored today for South Carolina. And there's a foul underneath. A good strength of schedule. 2 top 10 wins. That Notre Dame win gets better and better.
Going to their 5th consecutive NCAA tournament. Coach O's had 5 consecutive 20-win seasons.
Trying to pick up the assist here.
Ole Miss team that averages just under 77 points a game. Been held to 48 here today.
Coming up on the final minute.
I remember when Dawn Staley used to take her heels off and put her boots on right about this time of the game because she was ready to be done, to walk off the floor, right? But now she wears some sneaks over there, I'm sure. I wonder if she's wearing her Dawn Staley's. It's a great staff over there as well for Dawn Staley.
Got the officials' names there taped on the floor in front of her, just as a reminder.
Well, you just want to call them by first name.
You want to have a personal relationship with them. Denise and Tiffany and Tony. Sometimes coaches will have them on the side of the wall next to them there. Sometimes on the chair. Dawn likes the floor. And Turnaby's just got another block. They got double-digit blocks and steals today. And they will rise to their feet. Dawn says, no mas. We've done what we need to do. And for a 5th year in a row here in Columbia, they will celebrate an SEC championship.
And you know what, Beth? No one has left. They're just starting to leave. That's how much the entertainment value is in this building.
South Carolina wins a share of the SEC regular season title and can make it all their own on Thursday, right back here against Missouri.